And
You mean like pinching their ear and shit?
yeah, like if I'm running on one of the sides
Like
of the
Cesar
ears,
Millan.
instead of usually yeah, like just right in the neck. No, but like if I'm having a problem with the kid, typically it's a subtle thing. It's not like I'm ripping the ear off, but instead of taking
It just
control,
cracks.
yeah, like I didn't know there was a knuckle there. So
I'm just cutting it.
yeah, so
Sounds like
like
your bag when they crack your bag at the
typically, if
chiropractor.
I have someone that I can't control, I'll place my hand on top, and I'll just adjust their head to where I am.
Hello and welcome everybody. We're here once again on Shift Over. We got another episode for you. We have another guest in our new episode. So let me introduce myself first. My name is George.
Uncle Rich.
We're gonna change it from the cable industry, and we got today with us Robert,
Yep,
aka Bobby.
that'll work too.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Bobby.
All right, so most of my experience. First of all, I'm 35. My name is Robert. I go by mostly by Bobby. I'm a family man. I've got a bunch of kids, my wife, and a couple careers that I've been through. Most predominantly, I worked a long time in the service industry as far as auto dealerships. That was a 16-year stretch. I'm currently a barber. I'm on a 6-year run so far, and those stories are starting to pile up too. So that might be room for another episode.
So what made you go from the service industry over to the barbering?
I think that's a spicy way to start it because towards the end of my career as a service advisor, it was difficult for me to deal with the entitlement that a lot of people were coming in with. When I started my career writing service back in 2007, the dialogue was much different, and it went from "Hey, I'm here for this particular issue and I need help" to "You've caused this issue and you're gonna fix it for me." And when I started to realize that transition and how it was affecting me in my personal life and the way that I viewed humans in general, I decided it was time for me to make a move.
Well, let me ask you. I see you're a fan of tattoos. Did you have your tattoos when you started as a service advisor, or was this post?
When I first started, I was tattooed. I didn't have any face or head tattoos, but I had both sleeves. Nothing on my hands or fingers. So I couldn't go to work if I didn't have a suit and tie on.
Oh, okay. So I was going to
Long
say,
sleeve.
did you get a different? Did people look at you different, treat you different?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because there's some people who see you for face value and use that as a reference to what they expect from you.
Mm.
But there are also people who see you as you are. They give you an opportunity to show you to show them who you are.
I have a buddy of mine that works in that field, and he would tell me about. Well, one day I was there and I watched this car owner come and pick it up, and I'm talking. I was there. He was doing some work for me, and the car literally pulled out and was getting ready to get. It's right by this freeway, this place, and as he's going to turn up, you can see, and the wheel falls off. Like they didn't put the lugs back on the tire.
yeah.
The wheel literally rolled down. The guy's sitting there. I mean, did you
So
see any of that type of stuff?
So that does happen, but it's 16 years I never had a wheel come off. But it does happen because everybody gets distracted. You know, whether you're making a peanut butter sandwich or you're ironing your shirt.
Hmm.
Sometimes you find yourself on the couch doom scrolling on Instagram and you're like, "Oh shit, now I'm 10 minutes late."
Or like the ones that take out the oil but forget to put it back in.
Oh yeah.
So then you come
Or they
back the
forget
next
to
day.
take it out and put too much in.
Yeah.
And it happens both ways. So I had a client. At this time, I was working at a dealership in Woodland Hills, and the demographic there is a little bit different than what I grew up with. He didn't live very far from the dealership that I worked at, maybe a 3 to 6 minute drive. And and this is a well-to-do guy. He's not middle class. His altitude is much beyond that.
Maybe a 1%er.
Probably in the top 13%. So he needed a windshield. And to give you the perspective, his property, when I showed up to his house, was beyond what I could see. but he was driving a 2003 Honda Civic Hybrid. Right, he was whatever he did for work. I don't remember.
That's to go undercover though.
Right. So one day, which they always expose it to me because they're comfortable, but one day I get a phone call. At the time they were calling me Robert. That was my suit and tie name. Right.
Your proper.
Yeah. Hey, I have a chip in my windshield. All right, great. What can I do for you? Well, let me have an estimate and I'll shop around and I'll let you know if that works for me. I didn't have any doubt that he would be in my shop in the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So sure enough, about 72 hours pass and I get a phone call. Hey, can we schedule that windshield replacement? I'm going to go ahead and bring it in. Yeah, no problem. I forget his name. It might have been Steve or something like that. And he says, but I just have one favor for you, or from you, if I may ask. And I said, yeah, what's up? Is it possible that they can install the glass at my house? Because I want to have a little bit of fun with my son. I'm like, all right, yeah. I mean, if you don't mind, what does that entail? I need to make sure that my installer is prepared for whatever sideshow you're going to put together before he gets there. Mm-hmm. Right? So getting down to the bottom line, his intent was he wanted his son to be able to have the experience of breaking this windshield. So what he did
before they removed it.
So before the installer got there, he basically gave his son a hammer and a baseball bat and said, go to town, have a good time.
Oh, that's fun.
Wow.
Which to me was very outside the box. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
But those are the core memories that dads are supposed to instill in these kids, right? Mm-hmm. Knowing that he's already going to pay to fix it, knowing that he's capable of repairing whatever other damage that this kid's going to do, right? Sensors on the windshield, paint chips, whatever the case, whatever may have came up.
All the broken glass
but
inside.
It just struck me as motivation to think outside the box to create these memories with my kids. And there were a lot of situations like that where I thought to myself, wow, I'm not the only human out here. You know,
some might think of it as like, that's just craziness or foolishness or maybe just downright stupid. But again, that would be a memory that
his
child
son will never
forget.
And what's crazy?
I mean, how many people are you going to tell a story? Oh, I did too. No, you didn't. Bullshit.
And what's crazier is that was an amusement that was already paid for, right? And now I'm probably 13, 14 years later, still, it was a core memory for me as a young adult. And now situations come up with my kids that I can share, to the simplest things, like with my daughter and creating core memories with your kids, is she at one point had a fascination with rocks, which I'm sure a lot of us parents and dads, we can relate to that. I got a line outside my door that's probably 48 rocks deep that are colored in all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
But she'll never forget that, right? Even though to me it doesn't make any sense. And I'm probably gonna stub my toe. I might trip taking the trash out, but that's all worth where you're going with it, right?
They're still there, so in case you see
the rocks,
throw it through a window.
If I'm not holding it down, I got plenty of rocks to hold it down.
Just get a slingshot.
Yeah, or a cannon, because some of them, she's pretty tough, so some of them are pretty good sized. But I just think that there was a lot of disconnection between the client and the human that is there, designed to help them out of a situation that they can't do themselves. And that became taken for granted. You go to the grocery store and you have the cashier. Never through your transaction do you consider them human. They're simply just doing a job. And when they tell you, oh man, I hope you have a great day today, you're pushing your cart, walking out the door to your car like, wow, that was nice.
Right, but in a way, were they being honest? Because that's just a script.
but you feel different.
They say that to everybody. It's like when you walk into Panda Express and everybody's like, hello, welcome. Like I went to Panda Express the other day.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you.
No, but let me
hold on. You're upset because you feel like they should know you.
No. No, it's just because some people are kind of robots at work and they have this script. I used to do it. When I would go to people's houses, I already had a script because you go to a house and you already know what to do, the exit script and everything. So it was something that was just repetitive all the time. Did I mean it? Yeah, at the beginning, but after like thousands of houses.
Not you didn't mean it, George.
Like, oh, this is nice. And you've seen 3 of them already that day.
Right. So the other day I was at Panda Express and I just thought it was funny because We were in line. Nobody was walking in. Usually, when somebody opens the door and they walk in, they say,
Hi.
"Hey, welcome," which is nice, and they're acknowledging you, and it's part of their work, right? Or part of their customer service that they tell them to do, right? Nobody was walking in. Nobody was walking out. The manager or supervisor came out, and she's just, "Hi, welcome. Hi, welcome." She said it like 3 times, but nobody was walking in or out. And I turned around like,
Yeah.
So you're just unhappy at the
You
at it
think
not
you
being
should have your
genuine,
picture on the
right?
wall.
I'm
You
like,
know
well,
what
she's
I'm saying?
definitely using her training.
I mean, I go to sushi and they say whatever they say when I walk in. I'm not sure, but I feel
Mhm.
special. I don't know what they yell from behind the
Oh,
counter, but
without a question, if I get specific treatment, regardless of the type of business I'm doing, I'm gonna be back. If I walk in and you call me by name, I'm never getting pizza anywhere else, ever. And I currently have those relationships. There's a couple pizza shops.
well, George is
call
just
it-
talking about when he used to go to a house and the dog only had 3 legs. That's a beautiful 3-legged dog. You know,
Yeah.
I've never
Right.
seen that before.
Yeah, and you're looking
And
for
they're
the
like,
same
"Oh,
compliment right back.
right.
It's because it's in the service
So
industry.
you want
do have-
validation.
Yeah,
you have
Yeah.
this script, and it gets to a point where you're like, "Fuck!" I've repeated myself. I don't remember how many times, and you're
It's
starting
not
to sound like a
genuine.
robot. Yeah,
and
they don't know that,
and you really don't mean it, and you want to get the job done.
right? But like you're saying, if somebody tells you your name or calls you by your name, it makes you feel different. Because when like my wife and I, we go somewhere, and somebody introduces themselves, and they're like, "Hey, my name is Robert. I'm here to assist you with whatever." As you're doing things, and then you're like, "Hey, Robert, I was wondering if this and that." You ask a question, and then when you tell them or call them by their name instead of like, "Hey, excuse me," you tell them by their name, they feel more personal, and sometimes they help a little bit better.
Well,
Yeah.
I can feel that way. It's like you just barely met me. You let me in your house, and
Yeah.
I say because sometimes they're calling me Robert. I'm always Robert. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking dick. Like I told you
Yeah.
what my name was. You didn't give it 2
Yeah.
seconds to really take my name in. But those that like they go away and they come back in 15, 20 minutes or 40 minutes when I come in from outside and hey, they call you by your name. It's like, oh damn, you really paid
Yeah.
attention to me. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And for me, it's hard because I am terrible with names.
Okay,
You tell me your name 5 times, I'll forget it.
so
in 2
that's
minutes.
great. So I'm gonna transition
But
to
I'll
this.
ask
You
again.
don't even know my name right
So,
now for
yeah.
years.
I'm not even sure. I didn't even get an address when I was told to be here. So that's another
It's
thing too.
undisclosed.
Like as we mature, what I've learned is that I'm also terrible with names. But working in the service industry, that's almost a requirement if you're gonna have any success because you have to build those relationships where someone's gonna tell you, "Hey, I have a guy that can help you out. Oh no, it's cool. I'm gonna go see Bobby. Bobby always takes care of me." So what I started to learn, instead of just ignoring it and finding something else to call them, like bro or dude or
Bro.
sir or whatever, I've now started where I'm being honest. Brother, I'm sorry, but I didn't catch your damn name. And that's almost even better than a hug because
Yeah.
you're showing concern that you
'Cause you want to
know
remember it.
because you're showing an effort, right?
Right.
Like, damn, I know I've been cutting your hair for 2 years, dog, but what's your damn name?
Fucking asshole.
Yeah,
I've
but
been here for
what's your
2
name?
years.
Or even with their kids.
Like, I do see your name on the app every time, but
yeah, but what's your name again?
Erase.
Yeah, but yeah, it's things like that. And in the service industry, you don't have to be an extrovert. You can be an introvert.
So how did you transition? What was it that
I had a situation that even to this day I feel very guilty about. It was during COVID, and I had COVID twice, and I wasn't always a believer. It was kind of like I got a cold, whatever, because I never really had extreme symptoms, at least as far as I can remember. And somewhere in 2020, a car had come in, and I'm looking at it, I'm in it, and I'm like, man, something really smells bad in here. Like, how are you not complaining about this to me? So my initial thought was, there's an animal in here somewhere that's dead.
all that bad.
Yeah, which wasn't super uncommon, especially out here because we have so many fields, right? So you get a possum or something get under the hood and get cooked, or you'd have one time many years ago I had a client who had a gerbil that they had lost, and they had lost it. It was one of those things where they come in like, hey, we lost a gerbil like a long time ago, like a year ago, and the car smells really bad now.
So it's somewhere in the car, yeah.
So we found the damn gerbil in the AC vent, right? So that was the first thing I thought about.
Out of all places.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought
Along
about.
with his burrito.
Well, because you have to think about it, they're looking for warmth. So when you run the AC and you get out of the car, the vents are still hot.
Yeah.
So a lady comes in, and regular service, may have been like a small diagnosis, like a noise or something on a test drive. And the inspection goes through with her car. Her car's doing fairly well, nothing really out of the ordinary, except this damn smell that I can't get out of my skin, it almost feels like. And to describe the smell, probably an easy way to put it is that if you can imagine what
I can.
one of the bottom corners of a dumpster smells like, if you were just put your nose in the bottom corner of a dumpster, that's what it smelled like. So I'm insisting with this lady, like, ma'am, there's something that we need to look for going on in this car. She's like, what do you mean? I need you to come. I need you to come and smell this with me. Poor lady. So she comes, and we're walking around the car, and I'm like, you don't smell that? Like, it's not bothering you? And what blows my mind to this
She
day.
takes out her perfume. It's her perfume.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what blows my mind to this day, and it might affect my hypothesis as to why this happened, but there were people agreeing with me.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so you weren't the only one.
right. Like but mind you, this was at a time where COVID was running rampant, right? And we were essential. So we were working a little bit beyond what we probably should have been, if that makes sense.
And
So-
did you wear a mask? Were you wearing a mask then?
Yeah.
So you could smell that shit through your mask.
Yeah, I
bad,
could
huh?
smell that shit through my eyelids.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. So
You can hear the smell.
yeah. So we get down to where I give her an estimate, and I say, this is what it's going to cost us to find where this is coming from. And the way that part works is, how much time you need, Jim, to find this issue? Well, I don't know. I got to take the carpet out. Probably going to drop the headliner. Depends on how far I go before I find it. But let's start with 8 hours. Okay, 8 hours at $160, $180 an hour.
I'll live with the smell.
Windows down. Windows down.
Like, I
So
don't smell it. You smell it.
yeah, so it gets expensive.
When I smell it, I come back.
Yeah, really. So, but where my mind went was, I asked her, do you have full coverage insurance on your car? She's like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, so approve this number, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that your insurance covers you back. But I have to find a reason before, but I can't find that reason until you're okay potentially having to pay for it if we don't get it covered under your insurance. So I was pretty confident. I talked to a lot of adjusters, do a lot of inspections, and she okays it. Total was probably like $2,000, something like that. And mind you, this is without knowing what it's going to take to fix it, which would be in addition to, right?
Wow.
So, okay. Really nice lady.
We're in the wrong business.
Really trusting. Well, no, you own the wrong business. So she was really trusting, didn't give me too much of a hard time. So I go about the XYZs and I call the insurance adjuster. Hey, we have the smell. It's coming from the carpet, but we don't have a suspect. But the smell we've confirmed is coming from the carpet. I don't know the history of the car. It's only been here a couple times. Maybe it was flooded. Maybe she spilled something a year ago and now the fungus is growing and now it's caught. Anyways, so they send an adjuster out to confirm. Boom. Adjuster confirms. It ends up being a really nice ticket. And then you fast forward probably maybe sometime last year. And I'm having one of those sitting in my car before I go in the house after work, kind of thinking to myself, and I'm like, you know what? I think my nose was fucked up because of COVID. I can't believe it. I can't believe that we got away with something like that.
But you
And-
said other people were smelling it.
That's but we all had COVID. We're all working in a confined space. You know what I mean? And then it might have been the adjuster who also had it. Because that was, if you guys remember, that was one of the symptoms.
Oh, I've had it 5 times.
Yeah, so
Show off.
so you're probably pretty smelly.
Show off.
So,
I
But
had it 3.
yeah, there was
Good runner-up.
a really interesting time. Back in 2017, I was involved in a motorcycle accident. And I T-boned a lady who made a left turn in front of me at an intersection and totaled my bike. I didn't walk for a long time. Broke my arm, my hip, 2 teeth broke, tore my spleen, broke my ankle. So I was pretty much a bag of pulp. It was a tough time. 2017. So fast forward probably to 2019, maybe just shy of me leaving. Our dealership at the time closed at 6:00, and I had a lady pull up. A lot of ladies. I don't know why. We had a lady pull up, and she comes in and she sees me, and she starts getting really emotional. Like she's kind of hyperventilating and starting to tear up and not communicating very clear to me. And I'm by myself at the time because I was starting to get ready to lock up. And she's like, I really just need my car serviced. I'm going on a trip, la 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 la. Like, okay, no problem. And so I assume that's why she's crying, is because she's afraid that she's not going to be able to get serviced before whatever she has coming up. So I'm trying to reassure her, hey, you know what? It's going to be okay. We're going to take care of you. My guy's going to stay a little bit later. We're going to make sure that you're fine for your trip tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It'll be an extra $1,000
Right.
just to stay later.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we're into the premium.
But there's some shitty coffee over there. Go get you.
Yeah. Check it out. So,
Yeah, that's premium coffee.
yeah.
Got your cause.
So, before she walks away to take a seat in the waiting room, she turns to me and she says, I can't believe it's you. And now I'm in my department by myself and I'm stressed out. Like, I've got a little bit of a dark past. Like, what does that mean?
Like which story?
Yeah, like, yeah. Okay, let's get into detail. So she's like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's you. And by this time, her face is in her hands, and she's crying. And I'm like, yo, like, again, I'm trying to tell her, we're gonna take care of you. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Just relax. You're here. Your car's being serviced. We're gonna pull it in now. Boom, boom, boom. We got donuts from Sunday. I know it's Wednesday, but you can have one. And the coffee
Fresh this
filter
morning.
probably hasn't been changed in a couple quarters.
Those
right?
aren't sprinkles, by the way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was fresh this morning.
Don't look at it because the sprinkles will move. So she's like, is it possible that you were in a motorcycle accident not too long ago? I'm like, yeah, it's been a couple years. Then she's still crying. And she tells me it wasn't supposed to happen like that. And now I'm kind of tripping out because I'm thinking this is some sort of tarot card palm reader or something.
Or am I being pranked? Where's the camera?
Yeah, or like she's like reading into my past.
I'm
through
channeling your
Yes.
dog.
She's reading my chakras or something, right?
Yeah.
So
Like you wonder how much is she gonna charge me now?
so she tells me
You owe me.
my son and my husband both ride motorcycles. I should have known better than to put you in that danger. And I look, and now I'm like, whoa, hold up, because it's been a couple years, so it's not even something that I'm really even thinking about anymore. I'm fully recovered, everything's good, whatever. And I look at her, and I'm like, wow. So you mean to tell me that was your Civic? Mind you, I was working at a Honda dealership, so she was driving the replacement for that car, right? So she's like, yes. She said, that was me. It was me and my mom in the car.
Wow.
And she said, I know better than to have done that to you.
So she did it on purpose?
No, well, she made the call to run a red light because she had the red left turn light, and I'm coming. This was by Costco off of what is it, Auto Center and Mercado, I think.
Yeah,
where the new bus line is at or whatever. So I'm so sorry. She's giving me a big hug, and I'm so happy to see you. She tells me I tried to go see you in the hospital. I followed the ambulance, but they wouldn't let me in. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. I started to tear up because, and I told her, I said, I want you to know that I appreciate you even giving me the chance to say that I forgive you. because you could have come in here, got your service, drove off, and told your girlfriend next door like you're not gonna believe I saw this guy. But for you to have the compassion to say it was me and I'm sorry, you've changed the perception on the rest of my life.
Mm.
Because I probably would not have had the nuts to do that, especially not knowing where the case went, who was liable, who was supposed to be there, things like that, right? There's a lot of little things that happen in between that you don't want to jeopardize, right?
And after so long too, right?
Right.
It's been so long.
And that's one thing that will never leave me. It was unusual and it was unexpected, but it was probably one of the nicest things anybody's ever done for me.
That is
Just to
pretty-
give me the closure of being able to look you in the eye and say, I'm not upset with you. Because it took me off my feet for 10 months.
No.
And I was obeying the rules, and you decided that you were in so much of a rush that my life didn't matter.
But not only that, you're actually helping her out in this time of need.
Boom.
You know what I mean?
The
She's
the,
in a rush again.
the script flipped,
Mhm.
right?
Now you're helping.
And I could have said, you know what? B word. You can come back tomorrow. I'm locking these doors up. I can't believe you did that to me.
If you would have known though that it was her,
If there was a push pin on the top of her car saying this is the one, yeah, I probably would have locked the doors up, drove off.
Or just inflated the bill. You needed this home
Nah,
lubricator that's connected to the whatchamacallit.
That isn't. That's
Special
what.
order.
This is the
gonna
situation
get
where
my-
the wheel comes off.
Oh,
like, I'm gonna get my commission for the next 3 months in this
Right.
car.
Oh, we were paid. It was all good. But it's those things that bring you back to humanity, right?
Mm.
Because you can get beat up for 16 years straight, but you have that one person that gives you something different, and it reminds you that there are those people out there who are just like you,
Yeah.
who simply want a service that they're paying for, and a good relationship. More often than not with my clients, it's important to me to give them a handshake and a hug,
Mm.
and not just cool, bro, appreciate you, thank you.
Oh, hey, just
Hasta
right there.
luego. No, it's important to me. Hey, what up, my boy? Good to see
So,
you. Give him a little hug.
This topic comes up occasionally with my son-in-law. We talk about the same experience, right? Even though we have him and I both have someone that is in the business, but when we go and let's say you're running late, you mentioned walk-in, and I've been to multiple places where you go in as a walk-in, and it's always the same attitude, right? Where everybody's busy. I mean, obviously the music's loud, you can't hear yourself think, and yeah, I'm just here for a walk. And all right, cool, we'll be with you.
Oh, you don't
And
go to
then-
Perfect Cuts?
Yeah, unfortunately, no, I haven't. I should though. So you go in there and you sit down, and you're like, okay, I'm a walk-in because the sign says walk-ins, walk-in, right? You go in there and you sit down.
And then you don't feel very welcome.
No, because like 45 minutes, an hour, two dudes are available. They're sitting down on the phone. You're like, hey, can you cut my hair? No, bro, I got an appointment. You know, and you're like, all right, cool. So you're just waiting.
Yeah,
And literally
another
the
hour
time
goes
that
by.
they've waited, you could have cut my hair, right? And you're just waiting. And then another dude will come in. Oh, I got him. I got you. And you're like, what the fuck? I
And
was
that
just
wasn't
here.
his
Oh, no.
appointment.
He had an
Yeah.
appointment with this other guy. And you're literally like 2 hours deep. And you're like, dude, do you want to make fucking money? Are you actually here to cut hair? Or it's just a lifestyle?
Yeah.
You know, because dudes will go out and smoke a joint together. They'll come back in. You're like, damn, it stinks. And you're like, dude, you could have cut. I could have gave you my $40, you know.
Yeah.
And so what's
So-
is it just the lifestyle want to look cool, or people want to make money?
So it's the perception from both ends is does not align. So on the client side, because I'm a very big advocate for my clients, and a lot of the barbers that I work with or that know me is it's not unusual for, let's say you have an appointment at 10:30, but I'm going to take someone at 10:15 because I think it's fair that you wait. 15 minutes is not an unfair wait time in the perception of most barbers. In my perception, coming from the dealership side, if you have an appointment at 10, I'm going to be ready for you at 9:58.
Mm.
And that's the difference. So like with my clients, I have back and forth with certain guys and certain coworkers where it's like, I understand I have 20 minutes available, but that's going to make me 10 minutes late for my client who's paying premium to book the appointment. If you're going to book an appointment, I'm going to charge you more. my perception is that you should be in the chair when your time comes.
Yeah.
This is not a doctor's office. Your appointment's at 11, you don't see the doctor till 1:30. That doesn't fly with me because it doesn't make me feel good when I have to go through that. And just because it's normal doesn't make it okay,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I try to curb that. Is that if you're scheduled for 10, you're going to be, my clippers are on at 10 o'clock. And if I'm running late, I'm going to let you know, hey, I'm running 10, 15 minutes late.
So would you say then what you're saying is that in maybe some cases what I'm seeing is that his client is late?
Could be. And
Gotcha.
and he doesn't want to, and like, for example, if I have an appointment at 10:30, I'm not going to consider them canceled or no-showed probably till about 10:50.
Mm.
But you're right. I could have gone through your haircut at that point.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I say, because there are some dudes that can get in there and cut.
Yeah.
And other dudes, like I said, I try just to understand, is it a lifestyle? Because some dudes will literally an hour and a half. And I'm thinking, bro, I used to go to Mutt Cuts, and for like $8, this chick got down, boom, 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 like in 16 minutes, in and out. And it looked damn good, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what takes an hour and a half? And sometimes they're chopping it up with, hey, you know, yesterday, and you're, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool, I want to be here, but I got
They'll
somewhere
be on
to
the
be,
phone
bro.
like this.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And they're talking, yeah,
With the
hold on,
machine
I'll be
on.
right there.
But they don't. But they don't.
And you want to like push it
You
right
go
here
up
to
there,
my
or
head,
like-
like, come on,
or-
bro.
Or walk out and
You know,
check the mail, or just
You see what I'm saying?
see
So
what the weather's like.
I
Yeah,
try to
yeah, that's
understand, like,
fair.
you sound like you know your mindset of business is there. Where others, I try to think, I put myself like, man, how much money I could be making, and I just wonder, well, why is that kind of common? You know what I mean?
I think a lot of the issue is social media. Is that it's showing a lot of guys, a lot of new barbers and old barbers alike, that you want to go for that glorious lifestyle. We're popping bottles at the club and we're eating steaks at Mastro's and XYZ, which, yes, we are fully capable. I'm a barber I'm really proud to wear my brand on my back when I go to Mastro's, when I go to Foca de Chao, because it makes me proud for the public to know that barbers can do this too.
Yeah.
I don't have to be an executive to sit at your table. But when you get to work in the morning, continue that energy.
Yeah. All right.
And that's where it falls off, is that it's expected to get all this plush stuff, and I got this Benz and that car and this dog, and I got 5 Frenchies. That's pretty common. But when I can't find you on a Tuesday when there's 2 people waiting for a haircut, I mean, are you living the lifestyle or is this your profession?
Yeah.
Right? And that's where the disconnect happens. What I've tried to do is that if you are a first-time client, I'm going to try to get you as clean as fast as I can, because I need to set the standard for my capability, right? So if you know Bobby can get you out in 25, 35 minutes. When we're on visit 3, 4, then I'm going to ask you, I'm going to start talking too much. And I'm going to say, hey, George, are you in a rush? You got somewhere to go? Is it cool that we're chopping it up?
Right.
Yeah, bro, it's Sunday. I'm relaxing. We're good. Okay, cool. Now this is going to be an hour and a half haircut.
Right.
But if you tell me, actually, bro, I'm on my lunch break, you blinked, you're out of the chair. So you have to be able to have
I'm
that.
gonna have to start going to Bobby's, dude.
And everybody else, you know.
Or you just gotta
But-
say, I gotta go back to work in 30.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna start asking for your punch card. So, but that's where you have to be multifaceted, and you have to be able to change, right? You only win if you can adapt.
Oh, like, I've been on both sides. I've done the Mutt Cuts thing, which you come in, oh, I just want to cut whatever. But there's I guess names and just like in anything, jargon,
Yeah.
titles.
However you reference
You want to drop fade, medium fade. I just want, you know what I mean. So there could be some confusion on their part. Like for me, I got a cowlick, right?
Yeah.
And so I tell them, and it doesn't. There's very few, and this is why I've gone to so many. There's very few that I'll tell them, you know, hey, I got a cowlick. So just know that, because the last dude, he starts chasing the fade, and before I know it, I'm in the service when I leave.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the service.
Yeah.
Not you know, all for the service. I'm just saying that's not what I came in here for. But bro, if I tell you 8 of the 10, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just keep going higher, and you can see them just going higher and higher. And before I know
Like,
it,
now I'm ready to join
in
the army.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And I can't
You got
understand.
the Chuck Liddell.
How,
2002,
bro.
yeah.
How is it that Mutt Cuts?
Let's
I'm
just go
telling you,
flat
the
right
lady
here.
gets down, boom, 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 and I'm out like, cool. But I don't know what I'm saying wrong. Like, because I don't know a medium fade to low fade. Like, That's what
And,
I'm saying.
and-
How do you?
a lot of times, at least in situations that I've come across, is that if it's my first time with you and you're just walking in, your previous barber didn't correct you. He understood you, but he didn't give you the correct information as to what he was actually doing.
You didn't circle back and acknowledge, like, hey, this is what you want. Yeah, cool.
So then now what I'm going to do, because I think one of the more common ones for me and my client base is that some people will come in and say, hey, I want a taper. Okay, my vision of a taper is you cut it here, you cut it across the back, trim the top to however they want it, right? Taper fade. But then some people will say, hey, I want a taper fade. But what they're really meaning is they just want a regular fade.
Just
they're
low.
but they're using taper because technically, no matter how you fade it, you're tapering away from the scalp, right?
Mm.
So it is a taper fade.
Right.
But that's when I come in and I say, hey, taper fade, you're only getting the corners and the bottom below your ear. Oh man, so what do you think? How often do you get a haircut? Once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks. So we should probably do a regular fade because you're going to get more hair taken off and it's going to last you longer.
So I could see that. That part I can appreciate as opposed to, yeah, I got you, bro, and they start cutting in. So you clarify it for me. That's
Right.
cool. I got that.
And you're informing them.
Yeah. Hey, go see Bobby, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
we all need a barber. So, but
Make sure you drop your
Look,
at Bobby with the cuts, 2 underscores with the WITDA.
boom.
in Oxnard.
New era takeover all day. So,
Which one
that was
though?
smooth,
Because it's
yeah.
more than what?
We're all family. Anyone. I go in for an upgrade, and he asked me, "Okay, well, what type of phone are you looking for?" I said, "Well, I have the 14 Pro Max. What's the newest one? The 16 Pro Max, right?" And his response was, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, well, let's take 2 of those." It was me and my son. Okay, what color? Well, what colors do you have? XYZ. Okay, I'll take this color. I think I got the sand or whatever it's called. And he's doing the transfer, and I'm stressing out because my business is 100% run basically on my phone. So it's important to me because it's happened to me before where the transfer is going through and it's like it didn't work out and I still end up losing everything, right? Or it's going to be 3 hours or whatever the case is. So luckily it was quick. So we do the transaction. Cool, brother. Thank you pretty much. And as we're going through the steps of completing this transaction, I would say about 20 minutes before I walked out with my 2 phones and my receipt, he had already closed his drawer up and did his closing procedure.
He was ready for the next person.
No, he was ready to leave.
Oh,
He was
okay.
closing his station, right? And again, I give this to my experience is I recognize that he's getting his accounting in order and he's getting ready to make a drop or however they do it, and he's taking papers out of his drawer, he's stapling everything, making sure everything's tight, which I appreciate because everybody likes someone who's neat and collected and together. But I'm starting to recognize where his priority is.
You know, I'm from a time or an era when we went that mile. When you made sure he was taken care of. You had any other questions? I think now that's kind of bled over into my current position. I mean, I think George can attest to it. I mean, dudes would hate to work with me because at the end it's like, any other questions for me? Yeah, I got another. I'm like, dude, no,
Yeah.
we're trying to get out of here. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's just instilled,
With
it's
one foot out the
ingrained in
door.
me
Yeah.
to do this so that I feel complete. And I know that you're good, but it's almost like the words are coming out and I see them because whether it's George or my other
Mhm.
buddy, like, bro, what the fuck? We're trying to get out of here. And it's like,
Yeah.
I just gotta ask, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Is there anything else in that? But yeah, there is. And
You know, and it's funny
Yeah.
because a couple weeks ago I was walking around Walmart or Smart Final, sorry, and I was trying to use the restroom, and so I'm looking for somebody to give me the code, and everybody that I ran into that was an employee, I'm like, fuck no, I'm not asking you shit. So I keep walking. I go down another couple aisles. I'm like, it's his fucking twin. I'm not asking him shit either. Like I need somebody with some I need some gray hair. Is there anybody in the building that has gray hair?
Bro, it doesn't matter because what's the code? It's 38, 52, 265 pounds,
Yeah.
and then 1.
And touch your nose twice.
And by the time you
touch
get there,
your
you're
nose
like,
twice,
"What was
shake
it?"
your head, and then you can go in. But-
or here, let me go open it for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Without
Yeah.
telling you the
Yeah.
code.
Yeah, yeah. Or they're telling you the code and the volume. Michelle, could please come to the front. You're like, oh my god, I gotta ask him again. How
This
dare
guy's
I?
got to take a shit.
Yeah, imagine seal aisle 3. I've had a
Helicopters.
couple situations where your child is very disruptive, and I promise you they're probably the same way in school and at home. And this is as good as it's gonna get because I'm not gonna spend more time on him. If you want me to spend 2 hours on him, it's gonna be perfect. But I have a living to make, and I have 2 more haircuts coming, and I'm not gonna invest any more time into this kid. And a lot of that is that you don't get the same loyalty with a 6-year-old as you do a 36-year-old. So I'm gonna invest this much time into you to try and be as precise as I can, and never see you again.
Right.
I can't connect with you as much as I can with someone my age or an adult.
Mm.
I can't have much conversation with you. And it's also, you're more dangerous to work on.
Yeah.
Because if you're moving and you're not still and you're not following my direction,
There goes
I'm going to cut you. Yeah, I'm going to cut you. I'm going to cut you. But there's tricks and stuff that you can do, like, to distract kids. And I might be more
You put on
comfortable
some
because I
Yo
have
Gabba
so many
Gabba
kids.
videos, right?
No, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just be more direct with how I try to control them. And
You mean like pinching their ear and shit?
yeah, like if I'm running on one of the sides
Like
of the
Cesar
ears,
Millan.
instead of usually like just right in the neck. No, but like if I'm having a problem with the kid, typically it's a subtle thing. It's not like I'm ripping the ear off. But instead of taking
It just
control,
cracks.
yeah, like I didn't know there was a knuckle there. So
I'm just cutting it.
so
Sounds like your bag when they crack your bag at the
typically, if
chiropractor.
I have someone that I can't control, I'll place my hand on top, and I'll just adjust their head to where I need. But on a kid, if he's being problematic, then it goes here. And no, but see, the thing is they decide how hard I pull it. Because I don't know.
Is that how you get away?
Yeah, like I'm not pulling it. I'm not pulling it. I'm just holding it in place. And if you decide to move, now you're pulling your ear, brother.
Fucking assaulting my kid.
Right?
You're the one pulling it, not me.
Yeah, I'm holding on to it because this is where I need you to be.
Hey, they leave with the hair all red and
All
shit.
cauliflower. Oh yeah. Question is,
Yes.
this job. I mean, we kind of touched on it, but your current job, is it? Would you say that it chose you, or you chose it, and why?
Oh man, that is a really tough question. I chose it and it accepted me. That's how it happened. Is I was looking for an outlet to express myself in a healthy way. And I found barbering. And when I found barbering gave me back what I was willing to put in. It was completely equal. If I put in X, I'm going to get X back. When in the corporate world, you could put in X, Y, Z, and you're still going home with a simple letter A. And that's not a good feeling. But if I know that I've done everything to make sure that my day went smooth and effectively, that's what I'm going to get back. I'm going to get paid, number one. I'm going to have satisfaction in what I do, and I'm going to retain clients, which only compounds my success. Right? No business like repeat business.
Cool.
That's pretty cool to know. So, with that note, we're gonna end today's episode, and I want to thank Robert,
Thank you,
aka
guys.
Bobby,
Thank you.
for coming in, giving us another perspective of barbering and the industry, also the field industry and or service industry, and the auto dealers, car dealers. That was a whole nother perspective. And I want to thank Uncle Rich.
Thank
And hopefully we can have you back another time.
Yeah.
Give us some more stories. Let us know how things are going.
Once you pull the pin, I'm just gonna let it all out. So be prepared for another 2 hours next time, maybe.
Well,
Awesome.
definitely go see him. And you are
Bobby with the cuts. I cut at New Era on First Street and A. In Oxnard, we have another location on Channel Islands and Ventura Road. Walk-ins always welcome.
Tell them I sent you. You'll get it for 45.
Sure. And if you tell them that I sent you, you'll probably get it for 45.
There you go. All right. So don't forget to subscribe and please follow.
Click the link,
Click the link.
thumbs
like.
up, all that.